They are turning President Tinubu into a headmaster. They are calling him in Osun to come and intervene. They are calling him in Rivers to come and intervene. He's president of the federal government of the Federation of Nigeria, not the headmaster of Rivers, not the headmaster of Osun. Gentlemen, what do you think? Let's start with your friend, Zako.
I think it's very embarrassing and very shocking that democracy is in coma in Rivers State. Outright coma. And what we are seeing is not what can be described as democracy. It can be described as civilian dictatorship. And it's so embarrassing because Rivers people must not allow themselves to follow a particular trajectory. The trajectory that started during Nigerian Civil War of 1967-1970, when out of all the countries, states of Nigeria, only in Rivers did the Igbo man lose his property and it was called abandoned property. That means the people have sown bad blood in their polity, and such philosophical and spiritual paradigm must be looked into. And when you now extend that argument, you see that there's no love lost about the leaders of Rivers State. Instead of sowing brotherhood, brotherly love, what you are seeing in Rivers is brotherly brutality. Between 1999 and 2007, Governor Peter Odili was in charge. Did everything he did, brought his boy, in quote, Rotimi Amechi, made him a governor, and how did it end? He couldn't go to Rivers State because Rotimi Amechi ran him out of town. Rotimi now nominated Wike to become Minister of State for Education. What did he get? Rotimi ran out of town by Wike. Now Wike has brought in Fubara, and before you say Jack, there's a problem. And up to today, nobody has said or told Rivers people the sins or the offense of Fubara, the governor. And you now tie it back to 1967, 1970. The spirit and the ghosts of those who lost their properties is still haunting Rivers State. And I can tell you that the elders of Rivers State need to go back, pick the children, the young ones, and begin to teach them brotherly love instead of brotherly brutality, which is what we are seeing in Rivers State. Recall that the commercialization of kidnapping started in Rivers, and today Nigeria has not gone out of it, and it has festered around the whole country, and nobody is safe. That tells you that whatever is happening in Rivers has a way of affecting the peace of Nigeria. And like the elders will begin to tell you that the Wild Wild West started like this from one corner of the country, and before you know it, it affected the rest of the country. Very deliberate efforts must be made to begin to solve these challenges in Rivers State. On the side of the people of Rivers, they need to nip these issues in the bud, teach their children from the cradle what brotherly love means, so that they will now carry it through to their politics, to their policies, to their administration, and to everything that goes on in Rivers State. As we speak, what is happening between Wike and Fubara, today it is political issue, tomorrow it has gone to destruction, and the next, God forbid, it may become fatal. What we are seeing today, ego and the interest of one man against the other. And it is costing the state a lot, embarrassing Nigeria and embarrassing democracy.